Dr. Hendrik Verwoerd of the National Party of South Africa once stated that black people are incapable of civilization. To what extent do you think that dehumanisation informed the policies of apartheid?
Well, apartheid was there ever since the advent of the white arrival in 1652. But in 1948, when the Nationalist Party came into power, and Hendrik Verwoerd was the intellectual prophet of the theory of apartheid. He had studied psychology in Nazi Germany. So he was the theoretician, so to speak, who made that sort of statement that the black man was not capable of civilization. He was also, as Minister of Native Affairs, in charge of a separate department in relation to education. And he introduced the Bantu Education Act. And he was unashamedly on record that there was no point in teaching Bantu, the apartheid name for Africans, mathematics and science and literature and English, because they were really not going to advance beyond being hewers of wood and drawers of water. And trying to educate them would only make them unhappy because they would not be able to use their education. And a separate school system was introduced. The schools boycotted the introduction of that type of education. 8,000 students that didn't turn up on the first day were banned by Dr. Verwoerd from attending any school whatsoever in South Africa. Over 100 teachers that absented themselves on the day that Bantu education was introduced were fired and would not be re-employed. And the theory was that people should be kept apart. And they were classified into whites, the 11 categories of coloreds, 10 from different ethnic groups, and the 11th, a group of colored other, that is not colored Indian or colored Griqua or this, that, or the other. They were colored other than any of the other 10. And they had no rights. They were deprived of their right to vote on a common voters' roll. They were deprived by job reservation. All technical jobs, well-paid jobs, were to be done by whites, and blacks could not advance to actually minding machines or using tools. They would just have to be laborers, earning a pittance. You couldn't worship in the same church. You couldn't travel on the same train or bus or tram. You couldn't go to schools which were non-racial, particularly church schools. The various churches had some very good schools, some of them more than 100 years old, producing leaders like Mandela and Tambo and even Mr. Mugabe. All those were forced to close down, and new Bantu education schools were introduced, and the two official languages were English and Afrikaans, and Dr. Verwoerd thought it, well, he wasn't alive then, but his successors introduced a law that mathematics and science would have to be taught in Afrikaans, which led to what was known as the Soweto Revolt in 1976. Every aspect of human life depended on the color of your skin. With the Africans, the indigenous people of South Africa, at the bottom of the pack.